Welcome! Welcome to the next episode of Let's Script in DROD! Today we'll be making, believe it or not, a custom Serpent. Unlike the trapdoor video, I haven't prepared the graphics beforehand, so we will be using a temporary art for now, which will consist of Puff for the head, Wawa for the body, and Roach for the tail. Now let me start by creating a simple serpent. So let's rename it. And in a second I will explain how are we going to approach this monster. Alright, let's start with a head. Oops. You can be Waba and you can be Waba because it doesn't matter, because you are going to be destroyed immediately. Alright, let's start with a head and then parts of the body. I'm going to explain everything in a second. Okay, so because of the limitations of DROD engine, we need to go around some of the things. And the first thing we need to worry about is the head of our serpent. Because if you wanted to use a character without scripting anything in it, there would be no way for us to define the starting length of the serpent. We could, theoretically, at the beginning of the script, go backwards through all of the body parts, but I don't like it, so I'm going to have a separate because this would make the serpent script large, and I don't want to avoid that as much as possible. So for now, let's start with the serpent. Alright. And the first thing we need to do right now is to write a script which will go through all of the body parts and count them and replace them with first count them and then go again backwards and replace them with the number of with the body segments, and they should be initialized with the number of turns, the length of the serpent. You're going to understand what I'm talking about pretty soon. So let's start our code. Our serpent, we're going to use temporary global variables because there is no need for us to have local variables right now, because these variables will be used for initializing the serpents, and once the serpent is initialized, it will go to another serpent, and we won't need the variables for anything else for the serpent already created. So let's start with creating a couple of variables. The first thing we need is serpent length. Yes, yeah, again. Now with less enter. Alright. We need to set it to 0. Now we need a label. Calculate serpent length. Alright, this will be a function. So let's create another temporary variable. Let's change this to temp serpent length and add temp return. Alright. Great. Let's add the return at the end of it. The objective for this first video is to write the script for going through the serpent, going through the I was trying to point with my finger, and I'm kind of guessing you are not able to see. I would have to be like go this and that doesn't make sense. So yeah, well, we're going to start from the head, go backwards, and the objective for today, for this video, is to make it so that the initializers are replaced with the actual body parts. And nothing should move as of yet, but right now this is what we need. So now we need a function to go to next body piece. It should return, or maybe get next body piece diamond position. Actually, now I have just realized there is no function to get the direction of a character other than myself or the player. By myself I mean the character currently executing the script. So actually this might be impossible to code the way I would like it to. I forgot. Well, let's see. Alright, I would need to have separate initializer for each direction of the body part, so let's do it just now. South. Serpent, init, body, east. So it's going to be pain in the butt, in the buttocks. Pain in the buttocks to do it, and even more pain to actually place the serpents. But this, I'm going to make it work. Trust me, I'm an engineer. East, west, south, and north. Alright. Okay, get next body piece position. So let's make lots of action. We get first body piece position. We need two more functions, temp X and temp Y. Alright, return. So let's see. You're a body. Okay, let's replace you with the actual initializers. Too long. Okay, body south. Yeah. North, south, east, west. And you need to be visible. Sorry guys, can't help it. Limitations of the engine. West, okay. South. East. North. And north. Alright. And now... Or maybe we could possibly do it like this. So you should face north. Okay, so how this script is going to work. We will start at the head. Then we will check all of the surrounding tiles, looking for any Serpent body initializer which is facing the head and is next to it, orthogonally. And north. This way we will be able to have serpents which lie next to each other. Okay, go east, east, north, west, Kenny west, west, and south. Right, so we'll start from the head. Let's get to the head. Actually, I'm not sure if we're going to have enough time to do this, but we shall see. Okay, we can now remove this piece of code because this code will be exactly the same for all the 4 checks. So let's start with making sure that there's nothing to the north. So we're going to set myScriptX to my X and myScriptY to my Y -1, because the 0th position is in the top left corner and we are checking to the north. If there's a character 1 tile to the north, which is by any chance, if and wait for entity type Serpent initialize body south. So we're checking if to the north of us there is a body initializer which looks down right into our face. And if it happens to be true, we're going to do some juggling around. So let's set myScript tempx to myScriptX, tempy to myScriptY, reset the myScript variables, -49s, -49s, and return. Then another one. And now we're checking to the east. If to the east of us there is a Serpent body initializer facing west, right into our face, we are going to use him. I'm going to turn this into a function, a subroutine, I guess. No, not this line. Go sub to save. So yeah, now we don't need to repeat the same code over and over again. Alright, let's check quick check to the south. +1. Body south. Yep. Get this position save. And finally we're checking to the east. -1. No, wait, we're checking to the west if there's something facing east. Alright. And if we somehow fail to find anything, let's just set these to, no, set temp return to 0. And let's set temp return to 1. Okay, so we have a function, we have written a function which, given a specific tile, actually it shouldn't be my x, it should be temp x and temp y, because we want this function to be parametrized, so we can check not only around our own position. I'm going to get the headphones down. So we're checking not only for around our own position, but also around any position we wish to. So we can go check around our body segments. It's funny because there is about the headphones. It's funny that when I'm speaking with the headphones on my over my ears, I kinda have problem speaking because I can hear myself well, and I have this strange feeling in the back of my head that there's something weird going on. Alright, temporary serpent length. Let's set it to 0 here. And now let's do a loop. Loop garou. Loop. I hope we are not going to run out of space for... Actually, we are not. We are never ever going to be calling this as a subroutine. Let's call it like this. Alright. Before we run the code, we'll set the variable. Okay, we don't need this. Alright, so let's start with calling our function. Our default serpent length is 1. Let's set the parameters, the arguments for our get next body piece position. Try to guess what this is about. We're going to set the position to 1. Then we are our serpent length to 1. Then we are going to set our arguments to our starting position. Temp x, set to x. Alright, and then we are going to call calculate serpent length loop. Yes, and this is 0.2, this is 0.3. Let's do it like this. After we calculate the length, let's just rejoice. Okay, go to label 2. Alright. So now we are going to call a subroutine, this one. Then we are going to check if the function has returned the correct variable. So if the return variable is 1, equals 1, it means we have found a neighboring body piece and we can continue. Otherwise, if it's not the case, we just bail out and know that we have everything we need. Right, if this is the case, and we can increase the length by 1, add 1, and go to label, back again to the loop. And in the rejoice, let's make a speech. Yay! Temp serpent's length. Right. Let's see what happens! Yay! And the variable is set to something weird. Okay, let's go through this code line by line. Silver temp serpent's length. Okay. Setting our starting position to this. Okay. We are calling the subroutine. Okay, that makes sense. My script is being set to this and this. Right. We are checking below, so that's correct. Okay, let me add some more debugging. Speech checking. Temp x, temp Why? Let's see what happens. Okay, so you keep checking and weird things happen. Alright, that's okay. Found to the south. Is it? No, it's not ever cold. Alright, buddy, and you are at 18.8. Okay, that's correct. My X, my Y, okay. So we get into this function. We know that. Let's just in case, let's add this. Okay, this, any of these ifs is never called. Okay. Body south, body west. Ah, okay, we are not checking for body north. Alright, that should help a little. 89, found to the south. Okay, I'm not sure an infinite loop is possible. I hope there is no problem with that. Let me check. Let's see. Speech. Loop. Alright. 1, 2. 1, 2 and crap. Okay, I was pretty sure that in DROD it is possible to have a infinite loop, but it bails out after enough attempts. But maybe it just goes out the proper way. Hello! Are you the brain specialist? Apparently you are. Alright. I'm checking the wrong variable. It should be temp return. Alright, let's try again. Yeah, that's better. And our final length is... we kinda screwed it. Oh, okay. Let's try again. Found to the north. Yep. Found to the east, to the south, and to the west. Let's try again and see what happens. Okay, we found to the south. We don't need the loop anymore because it's creating a useless noise. Right. Checking. Found to the south. Found to the north. Okay, but you are... You should be initialized head, you know. Okay, found to the south. 1810. Okay, you should be back north. North. East. No. East, not south, man. I can already see that placing these serpents is going to be painful. Okay. Okay, that's better. I'm pretty sure I messed the variable's name. Temp serpent's length. Oh, I have a typo here. Okay. That explains a lot. Okay. No need for this anymore. No need for this. No need for this. Or even for this. And neither for this. We have so far only one. We need another label. Label which says end! And we need to go to it at the very end of this script. Alright. Yay! 12! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12! Correct! Great! Awesome. So yeah, let me, because it's already time to finish, let me just reiterate what have we managed to do so far. So we have 5 different characters which are used to initialize the Serpent. The brain of the whole algorithm is the Serpent initialize head. This script, first of all, and right now only, checks for the length of the Serpent, and then it will do another run, replace the body parts with the actual implementations, so it will replace them with Serpent body, it will replace the tail with Serpent tail, and it will replace the head initializer with Serpent head. And right now the algorithm works like this. We start on the head tile, we check to the north, then to the east, south, and finally to the west, and if in any of these places we find body initializer facing our tile, we increase the length by 1, we take a step onto the tile of the initializer, and we repeat the same thing. So we're here, let's check. Okay, to the north, no, there is a head facing away from us, doesn't matter. To the east, nothing. To the south, okay, there is a body initializer and it's facing north, so great. Increase the length by 1, 2, 3 right now, and take a step here again. We do the same. This is body facing north, doesn't interest us. Body facing south, doesn't interest us. Body facing west, so away from us. And finally, body facing in our direction. So we go here, and until we get to the very end, right here, where we do not find any more. So the loop just finishes. The function returns 0, like this, and we go to the else. So I'm going to just do a quick look through the algorithm to explain a little bit in more detail how everything works. So first of all, we set the just let me change something. Just let me change one thing. It's not important. Alright. So we start with setting the length of the Serpent to 1. Then we set the temporary variable x to our current position and y to our current position. Then we enter a label. We go to the subroutine, and the description of this, the name of the subroutine, and the style of the coding I have used determines that the temp_x variable is the x position of the piece we are checking. Temp_y is the y position of the body we are checking, and it is going to return either 0 or 1 in temporary return. So we go to this subroutine. At the beginning we set the return variable to 1. We could have done this in here, in any of these places, but I decided instead to place it here. So at the beginning of the routine, we know we are expecting to return 1, and only if we miss any of the conditions, we finally end in this line, which sets the return to 0 and returns back to this loop. Depending on the return variable, if it returned 1, which means we have found another piece of body, then it will increase the length of our serpent by 1, and get back to the label to call the same method on the next tile. If we return 0, which means it's the last body tile, it will go to the label rejoice and end the script for now. It's going to do more later. So let's see. After we set the return variable, we changed MyScriptX and MyScriptY to the position of the arguments we have passed to this function. And first we check the tile above. So if in the tile above there is a Serpent initializer body facing south, we know we have got a bullseye and we can go do the funny thing. And I'm going to skip this thing for now, and let's assume there's nobody to the north. So we once again set the MyScript variables to temporary x and temporary y, and temporary x is offset by 1 to the right, so we're checking a tile to the east. If there is a body facing west, we're cool, it means our serpent is 1 tile longer. And the same thing goes for south, y plus 1 body facing north, and to the west, x minus 1 body facing east. So you know that if we do not find anything, this will return 0, and it will mean we need to continue the execution of the script. But in case we find a match, we call another subroutine which sets the temporary x and y, so it prepares the arguments for the next call of this function to be the position of the newly found serpent body tile. And these are the two lines that do it, and then we reset the MyScript variables to not interfere with anything else. Then we return, which takes us back to the place that called the subroutine any of these 4. Then we go to one line next and it calls return. Return takes us back here, so we can process the return variable of the return value of the function. So that's how it works right now, folks. In the next video we will do the part responsible for setting up our body parts and our head and our tail. And for now, this is all. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you next time, because this video is going to continue, this episode, this series, the Serpent creation, is going to continue in at least 1 more video, probably 2 more. So, see you next time, bye bye!